The camera moves slowly across the land the way it always has, low and wide, skimming the tops of the golden grass. The Alberta foothills rising in the middle distance. The Rockies sitting blue and permanent along the edge of the world. The sky is enormous here. It always has been. It always will be. No matter how many seasons come and go, no matter how many years stack up between the first episode and this one, the sky over this ranch remains the single most honest thing in the frame. Vast and indifferent and strangely comforting, like something that does not need to change to remain true. A horse moves through the field at a slow, easy lope. Its rider sits deep and quiet, moving with the animal in that particular harmony that only comes from years of trust, not forcing, not directing, just being present with something that is also present with you. The rider turns the horse toward the camera and slows to a walk. The ranch behind her is exactly what it has always been. The barn doors open, the round pen catching the last of the afternoon light. The old farmhouse with its wide porch and its window boxes and its particular crooked line of roofline that says without any words at all that this building was not built to be beautiful. It was built to last. It has lasted 20 seasons, nearly 2 decades. More episodes than almost any drama in Canadian television history. More horses, more heartbreak, more Friday dinners, more arguments at the kitchen table, more quiet mornings at the fence rail watching the sun come up over the mountains than anyone who sat down to write the first episode could possibly have imagined they were setting in motion. And here, in this field, on this horse, in this light, it is beginning again. Season 20. Interior Heartland Ranch. Kitchen. Early morning. The kettle is on. The old man is at the table. The dog is at his feet. The calendar on the wall shows a date in October, and outside the kitchen window, the autumn has arrived in the way autumn always arrives in Alberta. Overnight and completely, so that you go to bed with green on the hills and wake up with gold. And the cold that comes with it is not the bitter cold of winter, but the particular clean cold that smells of wood smoke and turning leaves and something ending gracefully. The kitchen is quieter than it used to be. The children who grew up at this table have mostly grown up and away, as children do. The chairs that used to scrape and clatter with the energy of young people are pulled in neatly now. The house holds the memory of that noise the way old houses do, in the walls and the floors, and the particular way the light falls across the table at certain times of day. A light that has witnessed everything and kept every confidence. But the ranch is not empty. It is never empty. There is always someone at the table. There is always the kettle and the coffee and the particular comfort of a place that has been a home for so long it has stopped being something you live in and become something you are made of. The door opens, and she comes in from the barn with cold on her jacket and color in her cheeks and the look she always has when she has been with the horses in the early morning. Settled, somehow. More herself. She pours coffee. She sits across from him. He does not look up from his newspaper. "You were out early," he says. "Couldn't sleep. Something on your mind?" She wraps her hands around the mug. Outside, the horse she was riding is being settled by one of the young hands, led back toward the barn at that long, slow evening walk that horses fall into when they are ready to rest. 20 seasons, she says quietly. He looks up at that, looks at her over the edge of his paper. "Don't start getting sentimental on me," he says. "I'm not." "You are." She almost smiles. Maybe a little. He puts the paper down. He looks at her the way he has looked at her across this table for 19 seasons, with the particular mix of love and certainty and complete lack of sentimentality that is somehow more comforting than any softer expression could be. 20 seasons means 20 years of showing up, he says. That's all it is. You show up. The ranch shows up. The horses show up. The family. He pauses. The family always shows up. She nods. Amy's not sure yet, she says. About Nathan. About everything. I know. He proposed and she didn't answer. And now, it's just... She shakes her head. It's just sitting there. Questions sit until they're ready to be answered, the old man says. You know that better than anyone. She does know that. She has always known that. It is one of the first things you learn when you spend your life with horses, that you cannot rush the answer. You can only make the space for it. You can only wait and be present and trust that when the animal is ready, it will come to you. It is the same with people, more often than not. Exterior. Round pen. Heartland Ranch. Morning. The young woman, Amy's daughter, now old enough to work the horses with real skill and real authority, is in the round pen with a dark bay gelding who has been at the ranch for 3 weeks and is only just beginning to let anyone into his space. She moves the way her mother moves, the way her grandmother moved in the old photographs. Some things pass down through a family like eye color or the shape of a jaw. You don't choose to carry it. It simply comes with you. She keeps her body soft. She keeps her breathing slow. She does not chase the gelding. She waits. Across the fence, watching, is the woman who raised her, Amy Fleming, who has been the center of this story since before this girl was born, who has healed more broken horses than anyone in this county can count, who has buried a husband and raised a daughter and held this ranch together through wildfires and financial disasters and the particular private grief that doesn't make good drama because it doesn't come with a resolution, only with time. Amy watches her daughter work and feels something that doesn't have a simple name. Pride, yes, and love, yes, but also something wider than that. The feeling of watching a thing you built become its own thing. The feeling of a story continuing past the point where you thought it ended. The gelding slows his circling, stops, turns to face the girl in the middle of the pen. He takes one step toward her. Amy exhales. Into her Heartland Ranch. Living room. Evening. The family is gathered. This is what the family does. It gathers. It has always gathered. Every Friday, every birthday, every crisis, every ordinary evening that turns out, years later, to have been one of the ones worth remembering. The living room holds them all the way it always has, slightly too small for the number of people in it, and better for that. Lou is at the window with her phone, half in the conversation, and half in whatever she carries with her now. The weight of the ranch's finances, the cattle operation, the particular exhaustion of a woman who has been holding too much for too long, and is only just beginning to understand that she cannot hold it all alone. Season 19 gave her that understanding. Season 20 will ask her what she intends to do with it. The old man is in his chair. That chair. The one that belongs to him the way the mountains belong to the horizon. So completely that it would be wrong to imagine the room without it. Someone is cooking. The smell of it moves through the house the way good smells move through old houses. Not just through the air, but through something deeper. Something that has to do with memory and repetition and the accumulated comfort of 1,000 meals made in the same kitchen for the same people across 20 years. Amy comes in from outside. She has been on the phone. She sits on the arm of the couch and looks at nothing in particular for a moment. Lou looks over. You okay? Yeah. Nathan? Amy does not answer right away. She looks at her hands. Then she looks up. "I need more time," she says. "You've had time," Lou says, not unkindly. "I need more," Amy says simply. The old man does not comment. He has learned, over 19 seasons, when to speak and when to let the silence do the work. This is a silence moment. Outside, the horses are settling for the night. The barn light is on. The Alberta dark is coming down fast and complete, the way it does in October, and the stars are already beginning to appear. First 1, then 3, then more than you can count. Exit Heartland Ranch. Barn. Night. She goes to the barn the way she always does when something is too large for the house. The horses are calm tonight. The bay gelding her daughter worked today is dozing in his stall. One hip dropped, lower lip loose. She stops at his door and watches him breathe. There is a sound behind her. Footsteps she recognizes. Nathan stops at the end of the aisle. They look at each other across the length of the barn. "I'm not trying to push you," he says. "I know. I just need to know." He stops himself, starts again, more carefully. "I need to know if I'm waiting, or if I should stop waiting. That's all. Just tell me which one it is." She turns back to the gelding, rests her hand on the stall door. She has spent her whole life learning to read animals, learning the difference between a horse that is afraid and a horse that is ready, a horse that is testing you, and a horse that is asking you something real. She has learned that you cannot mistake one for the other. You cannot convince yourself an animal is ready when it is not. You cannot rush it, and you cannot manufacture it. You can only be honest about what is true. She is trying to apply the same standard to herself. "I'm not saying no," she says. He waits. "I'm saying I need to get through the beginning of this season. I need to know we're okay through the hard part. And then," she turns around, looks at him directly, "and then I'll answer you." He looks at her for a long moment. "Okay," he says. "Okay? You've never made a decision wrong in your life when you made it in your own time," he says. "I can wait." She nods. He turns and walks back toward the house. She turns back to the gelding, who has woken up and is now watching her with the mild, patient attention of an animal that understands more than it lets on. "Don't say anything," she tells him. The gelding blinks slowly. She almost laughs. Extertor Heartland Ranch. Wide shot. Dawn. Season 20 begins. The camera pulls back to the wide shot. The shot that has opened so many seasons of this show. The one that says, without any dialogue or music, that we are here. We are back. This place is real, and it has been waiting for us. And we are welcome. The ranch in the morning light. The mountains behind it. The horses in the field. The smoke rising from the kitchen chimney. The old truck parked at the barn. The round pen. The fence line running west toward the horizon. And across the field, a figure on horseback. Moving at that same easy lope. Same seat. Same quiet presence. The horse and rider moving together the way they do when both of them are exactly where they are supposed to be. Season 20. The final cliffhanger from Season 19 still hangs in the air. The proposal without an answer. The question suspended over the ranch like the morning frost that will burn off by midday. But for now, coats everything in silver. The storylines left open like barn doors in summer. Georgie's decision about Austria and what it means to be a Fleming woman who chooses her own life away from the ranch. Lou's reckoning with the financial weight she has been carrying alone. Jack's quiet, stubborn, deeply moving resistance to the idea that the ranch might one day be too much for him to protect by himself. The next generation, Amy's daughter, young and certain, and carrying the gift that has passed through this family for as long as anyone can remember, just beginning to understand the size of what she has inherited. All of it waiting, all of it ready. Production confirmed in Calgary between May and August of 2026. The Alberta foothills wearing their summer green for the cameras one more time. The horses standing in their fields, waiting to be given a job. The farmhouse set exactly as it has always been, its crooked roofline and wide porch unchanged, as permanent as the mountains behind it. The premiere date confirmed for October 2026 on CBC and CBC Gem. In the fall, the way Heartland has always come, with the first cold and the turning leaves and the particular bittersweet feeling of something returning to you that you had not quite allowed yourself to miss while it was gone. 20 seasons, 2 decades of Sunday evenings, 2 decades of the Fleming family and the Bartlett family, and the horses, and the ranch, and the town of Hudson, and the Alberta sky, stretching out to the edge of everything. 2 decades of a story that has known, from its very first frame, what it was about. Not the drama, not the conflict, not even the horses, really, but the thing underneath all of those, the thing that holds when everything else shifts. The land, the family, the choice made every single morning to show up. The rider on the horse reaches the far fence and turns back, coming toward the camera now, coming home. The mountains, the sky, the ranch. Season 20 begins. 20 years of the same sky, 20 years of the same land, 20 years of a family that knows the only way to hold on to what matters is to keep showing up for it. The gates are open, the horses are ready. Heartland rides again. Smash cut to black.